Okay, on this one we need to solve by taking the square roots. So again, we check individually each side. Is there any simplifying? Well, b term, constant term, they don't go together, so there's nothing to simplify on the left. On the right, all I have is 185. So guess what? Now I'm able to move things around. When you're able to move things around, or in this case you're ready to solve, you have to undo. So you go backwards. So you do all your adding and subtracting first. Well, this constant goes with this constant, right? Here's my plus 5. So I'm going to move it by doing the adding and subtracting. In this case, the inverse of adding is subtracting. Leaving me only the 3b squared equals 180, right? No more adding and subtracting. Now I do the multiplying and dividing. I can see here that 3 is multiplying by b squared. So I'm going to divide by 3 so that I am left with just b squared. Okay, I'm done with the multiplying and dividing. Now I'm going to check for exponents. Well, guess what? There is an exponent this time. And if you get rid of the exponent, well, the inverse of square would be square root. So I'm going to square root both sides. And don't forget that the square and the square root cancel each other out, so it's like the whole radical is gone, leaving you just the b, right? But since we're solving and we square rooted both sides, you always consider the positive and the negative. And you can't just leave the square root of 60 like that. I need you to simplify it, right? I don't have enough space here, so I'm going to simplify it over here. Square root of 60, I know it ends in a 0, so it'll be 10 times 6, right? The 10 breaks down to 5 and 2, and both of these are prime numbers. So once you reach prime numbers, make sure you close the branch. So here and 3 and 2 are also prime numbers. So this is the same thing as saying 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And again, the square root and the square cancel each other out, so I'm looking for square, something that I can make into a square. There's a pair right there, I can rewrite that as the square root of 2 squared. The 3 and the 5 are by themselves, they don't have pairs, so I'm just going to write them by themselves. Here I can see that the square cancels with the square root, it's gone, it's not there anymore, leaving me just that number 2 there. And these cannot cancel the square root, so you put them together. 3 times 5 is 15. You multiply them, and pretty much that's your answer right there. 2 square root of 15, you have simplified the square root of 60. Don't forget to put your plus and minus, because you have to consider both of them. And in this case, you solve for b.